I sent him fallback, and I was like, oh, this second verse is about you. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that you felt that way. When you're back in California, we should hang out.
Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimorelli.
Welcome back to
The Cimorelli podcast. Hey, guys. Woo! Welcome back to today's episode 184, right? I love my sources. They're always correct. They never miss. And we're going to talk about something spooky today.
Because it's our Halloween episode.
Yes. You know, the connection there. We're going to talk about being ghosted. Because that's spooky.
Truly.
It is.
And so annoying.
It'll give you a spook.
Yes. So as you can tell, we're all in our normal everyday streetwear.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone wants to say what they are, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Guess what I am?
I'm
a medieval woman.
Okay, and what are you?
But you're not going to say
They know.
Okay. Well, if they're listening, people listen to podcasts.
Okay, I'm a pirate.
I am Maribel Madrigal from Encanto.
I am the Mad Hatter, and
Amen.
I was questioning...
The Mad Hattress?
No.
Okay.
When I put this on and I was coming here, I was like, are people going to know this is a costume? To me. Because sometimes I wear weird things, and I'm like,
It was the hat that gave it
please
away.
don't think
And
that
the
this
scarf.
was my look
The hat gave it
today.
away.
You never wear head stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's a little far
that gave
for
it
me.
away for me.
Is that the jacket that Nick or Joey got you guys from the
Oh,
challenge?
yeah.
Wow.
Perfect.
I feel like the buttons I remembered. Yeah, it's very
The
like
scarf,
I can't think of the word.
I love it all.
Renaissance kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Wow.
I'm a bee, and this costume was sponsored by Catherine, who made it for our 2017 cover of Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato, and Danny is wearing it and stinging people, and we're holding a sign that says buzz off.
And it does have a stinger and wings on the back,
Yes.
but I don't think I really apply them in the best manner because
What's
really
the
see.
stinger made of?
it's like
like-
I think I took like this sparkly silver foam
Yeah.
and rolled it up in a like
okay.
cone
You can't
and
really
then hot
see,
glued
but
it.
just picture.
Yeah.
Okay, love it.
Yeah, it's a great costume. But yeah.
Okay, so before we get into all our spooky ghosting stories, we're going to tell you the highs and the lows of our week. Oh, and before we say that, I have to say, if you want to see all of our full episodes, you got to join our Patreon, patreon.com/Cimorelli, linked in the description, where you get every full episode of the Cimorelli podcast, and you support the Cimorelli podcast, which means so much to us, and you get a ton of extra content. So there's like an exclusive patron-only live stream we do every month, and our goal in there is to say something exclusive or share. I think now we're going to share like a lot more song snippets is one of our biggest goals, like showing you. I think we need to like show them what we're working on every month. Be like, we're working on this song. We could sing a little, we could play a little bit of it, show a little of the track or something. So I think it should be
Yeah, I love
exclusive
that.
looks at what we're working on that no one else sees. So I think that would be fun because it feels like a
That's
safe
really
place to
fun.
share it, you know?
Yeah.
You don't get
Yes.
like a bunch of crazy people
We love
giving
the
feedback.
patrons.
You just have these supportive, awesome people. So and you get every Monday one of us does a Q&A for you guys. Even we get Lisa in there still sometimes, so
We do.
just saying. And then you get to be a part of Lauren's Take, and there's series we've done in the past on there, like things we don't talk about, blah 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 blah. So yeah, check it out. It's $5 a month, $10 for the live stream, and then there's higher tiers as well. So check that out. All right, let's get into the highs and the lows of our week. Let's see. I'll try to go first. I feel like I never go first. My high, one of my highs of the week is that I discovered Tristan's love of shoes and hats and basically accessories, basically everything.
Oh my
which
gosh.
is so funny and cute. And Barrett did not do this. It's just hilarious. It's really giving Amy and Danny. Did you do this though?
I don't know.
Because
I
I'm
don't remember.
curious if you did.
I think I liked accessories, but I don't know if there's any like photographed evidence of that or anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I mean, I definitely loved like the idea of all like the dress up stuff we had. I thought it was really fun. But
because I was like, I liked stuff, but I wasn't like as obsessed. And Tristan is like obsessed, and she's like cries if she can't like put shoes on. She like grabs shoes, is like, and really wants to put them on. If I give her anything, she puts it on her head and is like, She loves wearing a hat. She loves putting a helmet on, being like, look at my helmet.
Oh
She
my
just loves to wear things, and it's so hilarious. And now she like puts on her shoes and she looks so proud of herself, and she like walks around in her shoes and is like, look at me. And it's just hilarious.
Oh
So
my
it brings
gosh.
me joy every day when I put her shoes on or she's freaking out over some accessory.
That's
So that's
so
kind of one of
cute.
the high points of my week that is really funny. A low, I feel like I actually don't have that much of a low this week, do I? Probably kind of like, I'm trying to think, what was this week? Probably just a general emotional low of like exhaustion, but then I bounced right back. So actually good.
Love that.
Oh.
I bounced back.
A low turned high.
So it's kind of a low turn high, yeah. So yeah, that was my, I would say like a little bit of a meltdown, but it was like, didn't carry on into the next day.
Love that.
So that was kind of a good low to have.
Love it when it
Nice.
doesn't carry over.
Okay, next.
Okay, I can go. Well, it's actually nice I can actually talk about this openly now since we've announced my pregnancy. I feel like I had so many highs and lows about that the last few episodes we filmed, and I like couldn't say anything. I was like,
yeah.
what should I talk about? Sort of besides the glaring elephant that I knew that was in the room. But I think my low this week was pregnancy insomnia, which kind of started hitting me this week, and I'm just really tired. I've just been having a hard time sleeping and like tossing and turning a lot, which is not fun. And then, what's my high? I think my high is just that it's fall and I love fall. And I made so many pumpkin things the last few weeks. I just made pumpkin chocolate chip muffins.
Love that.
I've just been really living it up. I have a pumpkin spice coffee every morning that I make with like creamer. So
Cute.
yeah, I'm just living my best fall life.
Everyone's having such reactions. Well, not everyone. A lot of people I notice are having such reactions to the weather dipping below, 60 that people.
Oh my gosh, I
people
love
really start
it.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, and I'm not that person, but I've noticed
living
all these
for
people
it.
who are like, oh my gosh, the weather freaking out.
because you get to wear sweaters.
I don't
Sweaters
own
is the
sweaters.
best.
I literally don't own them. I own sweatshirts and jackets.
I love sweaters.
I'm not
I'm excited.
loving it, but I'm not hating it because we're not in December, January.
Unfortunately, I'm like on the Christmas train. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm canceling Halloween in my mind.
cancel it.
Not like I'm like, oh, I hate this. I don't want to do this. But I'm just like, I'm so excited for Christmas. And like Halloween's fine, but it's just not as good.
What about
Yeah,
Thanksgiving?
I agree.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
actually really excited for Thanksgiving because Barrett now is really aware of every holiday, and he's like talking about apple and pumpkin pie the other day. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna have those on Thanksgiving, and he's like, "What's Thanksgiving?" So I'm like really excited because he's all obsessed with pie. Suddenly, he's never had pie, but he's like, "You can have pumpkin pie."
Oh my gosh.
He's never had
Like he
it.
saw it in like a video or something, so now he's like talking about pumpkin pie.
I wonder if
That's
he'd
so
actually
cute.
like it.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I feel like it's hit or miss. Very hit or miss with people.
feel
People
like
like
he's not
love or
gonna
hate
like
it.
it.
Maybe
He's
not.
not gonna like pumpkin
texture,
pie.
I don't
It's
think he's gonna
disgusting.
Or maybe
Yeah.
he'll like the apple though.
So my not really to me in the first place. My high was that my friend came over and helped me hang up all my clothes. and
Aw.
fold
What?
them and
That's
put them
so
all away
nice.
because they
Who?
were all dumped on the
You
floor.
do all
No.
of them?
Really?
That's so nice.
Of
Can you
course.
come help me hang up all my clothes?
She offered to help me.
That's what I need. Someone
Aw.
come hang up my clothes every week.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was so nice because we did it together and it was so much quicker
That's a real
than
friend.
just me crying about it. I didn't cry. I was
Oh
happy.
my god.
And then
Oh,
now there's no clothing on the floor of my room.
Yay.
That's pretty lit.
It's just really was a beautiful moment for me. And my low was I had a vividly disturbing dream last night that I'm not even say because it was so scary.
Ew.
And it felt so real. And I woke up and had to like tell myself that didn't really happen. It wasn't happening. And I'm still kind of like from it now.
It ain't right.
So I don't really like dream that much or dreams like that
Oh my
much.
gosh,
So I'm
what's
like,
going on?
that ain't right.
Creepy.
That's not it. Oh, hey.
Hey. Wanna join the group?
No. I don't actually.
It's okay.
Let's see. My high was my friends going away party over the weekend. It's great times. Great times.
Oh,
Was I there?
No, you were not there. I just
I think she just
Oh,
sang what she
got it.
said about
Yeah.
it.
I got it.
Was
Yeah.
that-
Really,
Wow.
really fun. Except I didn't have a jacket, so I had to wear a blanket.
What? Oh, I saw that.
I was
post.
up in out all day.
Did you
And I felt like
bring?
I was in a different. It's in my car, and I didn't even know that. So I opened the back of my car. I was like, I gotta have a blanket here somewhere, and it was perfect
It is the perfect.
because it was
thing to
actually
have.
really cold out, and I had like a tank top and a denim jacket was what I was wearing.
I gave Amy
That's not right.
The wind will
hooded,
blow right through you.
a hooded blanket.
Yeah, it
for
was a hit.
Something.
I got so many
Christmas, birthday?
compliments.
You know, it's that time of year that you put the
My
sweatshirt in your car.
birthday, maybe.
Well, Amy is a blanket lady.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
am.
She basically once it drops below, I don't know, 60.
Yeah.
She wants to have a blanket on her at all times, basically. So I got
love
her a
it.
hooded blanket,
I'm scared of
and
being cold.
it's perfect.
No, it was absolutely perfect and a hit. And I got so many compliments.
It's
I was
so
like, wow,
you.
I love that. So I have a hood.
Yes.
It's really cool. Yeah. Anyway.
So that was the
That
high.
was your high.
What was
my
the
low
low?
is my life in this moment today. It's not a great day. It's not a great day to be alive for me. But you know what? Maybe tomorrow will be better.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
That is the spirit.
What else can you do?
It is the spirit.
Yes, it's great.
It's gotta, you make it through the days one at a time.
So true.
One foot in front of the other. As soon
Guys,
as
I don't
we
know why,
walk
but
out
everyone
the
wearing their
door-
costumes just makes whatever they're saying. Like, in my mind, I'm making so many bee puns, but I don't want to say them because I don't want Amy to be annoyed.
No, you can do it.
I'm like,
I love
Amy will believe in
Yes,
herself.
I need to believe in myself. In my life.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
true.
let's get off of me.
Okay.
All right, guys, before we move on, I got to tell you about our sponsor, Earnin. The money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work up to $100 per day or up to $750 per pay period. You just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck.
If I was in a situation where I needed something like this, Earnin is definitely what I would use. When we were looking into Earnin, we saw so many great reviews and just people sharing their personal stories of times when they really needed and this app came through.
Make Earnin a part of your financial routine and join Earnin's over 3.5 million customers. Download Earnin today. It is spelled EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in Cimorelli under podcast when you sign up. It helps support the podcast. Cimorelli under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. And now. If you watch Sim Kids, you know what that is. You heard the music in the beginning of this episode. It's from our Baby Shark Halloween video on Sim Kids, our kids channel, where I'm wearing this outfit. So anyway, it's a spooky intro for a spooky topic,
Yeah.
which is
Ghosting.
ghosting.
Telling ghost
dun, dun.
stories.
I hate
Dun, dun,
ghosting is so
dun,
annoying.
dun, dun.
It makes me mad.
Okay, so we're gonna tell our very own personal stories.
Yeah.
Guys, do you know what that inside joke is? Very own personal story, whatever. It's
No
not
one
that good of an
knows.
inside joke, but I just want to tell you. We had the same teacher.
This is
Our
such an
English
old-
teacher.
I'm realizing how old this reference is, and we still say it all
It's
the
not
time.
that good of an inside joke, but I'm just telling you anyway, so you're in the loop. Our English teacher in college back,
Circa 2007.
2006, 7, 8,
Wow,
that time.
that was a long time.
He, shout out Mr. Fletcher.
Anything less than the Fletch is a felony, as I like to say. That's what I said when I was a teen.
I still can't believe you saw that. He would just like cut out all the extra words. He's like, you know what you say? My very own personal opinion. Just say the thing, whatever.
He would say, just say, in my opinion. Don't say.
Or just say.
Actually, I think he said, don't even say in my opinion.
Because it is your opinion.
Yeah, it's like implied.
Yeah, you
And he was saying the
know.
worst is when you say, in my very own personal opinion.
Yeah, he was
Like,
talking about when people use extra words to make their essays longer. And he would cross out the words they didn't count.
Yeah, he's like,
if you
fluff,
use them.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, you don't get the word count because these don't count.
What a guy.
So then for some reason we started saying that.
Mainly, I feel like mainly you. She's
In
like,
my
in my
very
very
own-
own personal
I say
opinion.
that. I wasn't
Oh, I do
even
too.
there.
And
Did
I
you
did
know
not go
that's
to
what
that
it was?
school.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
I don't know why. Just like the one video where the girl says, like such as.
Yes.
Oh,
Bless her
that's why
heart.
you say that.
The girl from Miss USA.
Like,
or
we need
something?
maps
Yes.
or something.
Yeah, the one where she's talking about maps. Bless her heart. It could happen to any of
It
us.
could.
Just saying, you
I'm
know,
sure-
when you blank. But she said, like such as, maybe a couple times there. I don't remember. But for some reason, that really struck me. And now I say it all the time. And Barrett, I say it to Barrett, he says, can I have a snack? And I say, like such as. And he says, like such as some puffs. I don't know why.
Okay, do you remember how Mr. Fletcher would do? We had all these short essays that we did throughout the semester.
Yes.
And you would, this was like the most exhilarating
Every
thing
week
because
you had
he
to
was
write
a
one.
hard teacher. He was hard. He wasn't just like giving out good grades.
No.
You got either a check, meaning like you passed the essay, or you got like a minus, which means you didn't like meet the requirements. But very rarely you would get a plus. And I think I got a plus one, maybe
I got
two
some
times.
pluses.
And it was so, I was 16.
It was
I was
such an accomplishment.
yeah, I felt like the smartest English person ever.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I
Shout
would
out
not
to
be
him.
getting
You had to
pluses.
write a 1.5 page essay every week. It was
Yeah.
like every Tuesday or every Thursday you had to have that
Based
plus
on
the long
something that we
ones.
read.
Yeah. Every
How
single
do you
week.
Right.
We
so
read
many
Pride and
things.
Prejudice, I remember. And we read
It
a
was
bunch
so
of like essays about these different people.
That was my favorite class. It literally changed my entire
Such
life.
a good class.
Because the stuff you had to write about was like questions about like your morals, your ethics, your beliefs about life, and all sorts of things.
We read Plato's Allegory of the Cave. We
had
read
such good
Simone de
stuff.
Beauvoir. We read a bunch of random different people. It was
Okay,
interesting.
nerd hour.
Nerd hour. Hey, I remember sitting under a tree at college reading from this book, and I was like, I am a peak student right now.
Oh
I'm living my best student life.
was so
Oh, that's cute.
And Lisa and Kath took, my brother and my older brother and I took all the same classes together, but not this one. And then Kath and Lisa took all the same classes
Lisa
together.
and I were in pretty much all the same classes.
And then Lisa and I took a couple classes
and
together.
then we did some together. That was fun. People
Oh.
like, you guys are the sisters? Whoa. Like, you guys are all sisters?
Except for one time, these people stole our spots on purpose.
they were
And they looked over us,
old.
and I was like,
Wait, they were old.
we were just like lowly teenagers.
They were like haters. And they were like in their like mid-20s or something.
But Lisa would sit there. Okay, Lisa's quite the student. She would sit there drawing these weird pictures, like a woman with giant lips that were like not
so
like
I
a
draw
normal
these like
size.
caricature of people, not real people, just
It
like
was not
funny
real.
looking characters, and I would like die laughing, but I was supposed to be paying attention to the class. It was so
And
funny.
Lisa was my partner for what was it?
What?
Biopsych.
Oh, I hated that class. Oh
She
my
didn't
God.
do anything. She made me do literally. She did not lift one.
Well, yeah, because we
finger.
had labs.
Of course.
So we had to dissect all these disgusting things.
I
I
left
hated
during
every
that.
second of it. I wanted to puke and die.
Yeah,
I hated it.
Lisa didn't do a darn thing.
Did she do the dissecting or did you?
Oh, I left that day. I don't know if she did it, but she made me do
I think
everything.
She did.
And then we got a decent grade because of me. But I was really mad because she didn't do anything. Anyway, moving on. But that was funny. Lisa as a student is really funny. She didn't really care that much.
But she got good
She's
grades.
really good in
Well, she was
Spanish.
also very young too. She was like
She was-
15.
Well, yeah. She was really
Lisa just cared about her crushes.
Her whole day
Don't
revolved
we
around that. Okay.
No,
Okay, let's
I
get
didn't
into it.
really have many, except for long legs, as we called him. There's this really tall
There's
guy.
a tall guy.
They kept making fun of me and saying I was in love with him, and then they nicknamed him Long Legs.
But I called Ariel Daddy Long Legs yesterday.
That's
So-
good. That's good.
oh my gosh.
Just saying.
Good time.
Okay, let's get into the ghosting. Too bad no one from college ever ghosted me because that would be a great tie-in, but that wasn't it. Okay, so ghosting. What is ghosting? When you're dating, talking to someone, something kind of like talking to them consistently somewhat, right? It can't just be like
Yeah.
you talk to them once. Can it? Or it could.
I guess it could be like, oh, we hung out once and then he ghosted.
Yeah. I feel like you have to
Yeah.
have some kind of a moment before.
Well,
like a
yeah, they
connection.
can't ghost you if you never spoke.
If you like barely talked, well,
Yeah.
I guess okay. If you met on like an app and you were just like texting and then
Yeah.
they never hung out, they could ghost you.
Yeah, they ghosted.
Okay, so
But I feel like
There's different
ghosting.
levels.
I feel like ghosting is usually in sort of ambiguous relationships.
Yeah.
It's not normally like, oh, we were like seriously dating for like 2 years.
I
That
think
does
that
happen,
has
though,
happened.
and that's unhinged.
That's scary. I'm scared of that.
No, I
That's
feel like I've heard of
wild.
that.
In my own
definitely.
personal life, that never happened to me.
that didn't happen. That's
I'm
wild.
scared.
Okay, so we each tell a story of ghosting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what we did that helped us move on from the past.
Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Tell them,
What's your ghosting
Okay,
story?
so
Let 'em know.
I have a few, but I think I'm gonna go back. Actually, not the camera one. I'm gonna do a different one.
I love the camera one.
classic.
There, I just feel like
What's the other one?
the other one is I don't know. I don't want to say the name.
Yeah, don't say the name.
Okay,
What's
okay. Let me just do this one. It's interesting. Okay, so there's this guy that I met at church, and we both
church.
played instruments at church together.
How weird.
And that was how we met. So that was one of my first like musician crushes.
Oh my god.
Which
Never.
spoiler alert, I realized later on that I don't really like musicians that much, but this was actually a good experience for the most part. So this guy, we were just like friends. We knew each other at church. I don't think he really like noticed me in that way. But I will say there was this one day, and I don't know, maybe I'm making this up in my mind, but I had this really cute dress and it was Easter Mass. And that was the day that I feel like things started changing, because I feel like shortly after that, he started texting me, and like, I remember this one text that was like, I was like, oh, like, what are your plans for the summer? And he was like, oh, this, and maybe hang out with you.
Ooh,
And I was like, wow.
Spicy.
And then he like would read I had like my blog with my poetry, and he would read it. I wrote a poem about him that was like, you and me, it was like, brown eyes, thick lashes, you light up like matches. And it was like, you and me, that's it, together we're magic. It was like, and that was about him. I think he kind of knew it, because then he read it, and then he messaged me and was like, I dig your poetry. And I was like, wow, so
yeah.
cute.
Of course you do.
Catherine, that is bold.
What? That I posted the poem?
Yes, when you
knowing
knew he
that
would
he
read
reads
it.
it.
Amy, I didn't say it was about him.
So
Was it obvious or
Just
no?
because I said he has
You
brown
said
eyes.
brown eyes
How
and
many
thick
people
lashes.
in this population have brown eyes? Millions,
A
okay?
lot.
How many have thick lashes? Not very
He
many.
knew it was
He
him.
knew.
Okay, yeah. He,
like, this better be
he
about
definitely
me.
knew, because he specifically, I think, screenshotted that one and like responded and was like, I dig your poetry. Just like, he's like indirectly saying.
What?
But anyway, so that just turned into this summer of like really fun. Like it was like a fun adventure, like hang out with him. He started actually asking me to hang out, and like he had all these musician friends, and we'd go to like all these different like cool little musician hangouts and like jam sessions.
Amen.
And like it was in Southern California, so we'd be by the beach a lot. We went to the museum together, and just like I don't know, it was just like a really fun, like lots of live music and concerts, and just like it was really fun. And I like really liked him, probably the most that I liked anyone out of almost anyone, honestly, as like a young adult. I feel like, because I think I was 20, 21. But yeah, and then it was like just this really fun adventure that lasted all summer, and then it just kind of like started pulling back. And I remember the day that I went to like, he invited me to his friend's party in the backyard. There was like a pool, and I remember that the first time that the energy was just different. Like he wasn't as like warm, and it was so sad, because I was like, what? We had so much fun all summer, and like we did all these like just made all these memories and had all these really fun experiences together, and I felt like we were so good together. And then he just started kind of giving me a little bit of the cold shoulder. I didn't really know why. I was like, what? And I just was like, of course, thinking, what did I do? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? And then I, not long after that, saw on Facebook him posting a bunch of pictures of this girl.
No.
And I was like, oh, like I was devastated, because it really, we were like legitimately
Yeah.
hang out like all the time for these like long, like it felt like
lame.
dates, like I don't know.
Yeah.
The way that,
Those are dates, Catherine.
yeah, he like planned out all these fun things for us to do. So it felt like we were like dating. We just never were like official. But yeah, he just posted this girl and just stopped talking to me. And then I was like really sad. And I think I sort of developed this thing that really helped me, which was like, write down your story of this person as many times as you can from as many angles as you can. Like there was sometimes where I'd write it like I was like an author writing a book and like act like it was like a novel and write it from like a very outside perspective. There's a lot of times where I'd write like letters to him, just like pouring out the feelings. And I had this notebook and I was like, I'm just going to write every single day. And I did for a long time until it stops hurting so much. And it was this like purple notebook. And I remember I almost filled it
You're
up.
like, I'm going to write until it stops hurting.
Yeah.
That is such a good thought. I never would have thought of that, but that's seems kind of obvious now, but that is exactly like what you want to do in life. Write until it stops hurting.
Yeah. And there's something about writing is such a simple thing, especially if you write really honestly. Write all the things that you are too embarrassed to say, even to your friends, that sound too desperate or too like embarrassing, like that you care so much.
Or else how are you going to get it out?
Right.
If you're not going to...
And your notebook will not judge you. And hopefully no one else reads it. I mean,
I ain't reading it.
yeah, I was just kind of like, I don't really care at this point. But then this is something that I've always said about dating. I really think there are like invisible ropes that attach you to that person that you like had a connection with, and they can feel it when you start to move on.
Yeah.
Because I think I started writing in September, and then by December I started to feel a lot better. And I was like, and I actually saw him because he invited me to an event during that, but it was very like friend vibes. Can't remember if the girl was there or not. Literally, as soon as I started to feel better about everything and kind of move on, he started reaching out to me again around Christmas, and we started hanging out again. So, I mean, the saga just went on for, I mean, a couple more years after that. But yeah, that was the ghosting part, and it was really sad. And yeah, I think that relationship meant probably more to me than a lot of the other ones, just because of how like, yeah, I just really connected with that guy. So it was sad. It's really sad. And just like that thing of like wondering what you did wrong and not knowing. Mm-hmm. And even though you didn't do anything wrong, that's the truth. You didn't do anything. It's just they met someone and it's not like your fault. I don't know. So anyway, but yeah, the writing really helped me.
Well, sometimes I think they get spooked by, well, sometimes it is by something you did, but it doesn't mean what you did was wrong. Like sometimes it's like you opened up about something and it triggered them feeling like too close. So technically it's something that you did, but was what you did bad to do? Probably not, unless maybe if you're, well, I don't know, if you're like, we're getting married, is that not morally wrong, but maybe not what you should say? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you do that and it triggers
I mean, I didn't do that, but
I don't want to like blame someone who did that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe that would cause it, right? That could cause a ghosting. But that's probably not the most common thing. I'm just thinking of something that would trigger something that would be a little over the top.
Yeah.
But sometimes things triggered people.
People get spooked.
Yeah, people, I mean, think of yourself. You get spooked. We all get spooked. I think a lot of times it's like, sometimes it can even just be like, like a, what's the word? Like a milestone. Like it's been a month, it's been 2 months, it's been 3 months, whatever it is. Or I'm trying to think of when you would ghost. Hopefully it's not like it's been a year and you're ghosting. That's kind of weird. 6 months.
Or they met someone else.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened there.
I think a lot of times it's they met someone else.
Yeah.
A lot of
times. And then
times.
you see them again and they act like you're just a friend, and they never had feelings for you. And you're like, I know you did. And they did eventually admit it later, but you're like, how can you just pretend that you did not like me? Because I know that you did. It's so annoying. Anyway.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I feel like I've been ghosted many times, but I don't really categorize it as that because I don't like, I'm just like, well, that didn't work. Like, I don't take it that personal, I guess, in recent years. Like, I'm just like, well,
that's how the cookie crumbles.
They didn't want to talk to me anymore. Well, that sucks. Ooh. But I feel like there's my first ghosting I categorized as a ghost, but then I literally can't remember it ever happening again because I don't think I categorized it like that in my mind, even though I'm pretty sure that it did. Like, maybe like I knew it was gonna happen, so I like was like, okay, this is ending, and that's what happened. It ended. But my first heartbreak, I was the young age of 14 years old. Years young, some might say. Oof. And I met this boy. He's on the swim team. He's so cute. He was really good, by the way.
How did I know exactly who this was going to be before you even started talking? I was like, I know who she's going to talk about.
And it was typical like teen thing where like we didn't really hang out, but we just like Snapchatted and like texted. But every freaking day, every single day, this man.
I don't get you.
Oh, my breakfast. Steak and eggs. I don't know why I remember that. But it's like, oh my
Who has
gosh.
steak and eggs for breakfast every day?
Well, it wasn't every day, but like people do that. I don't know.
No, not
But we
that. It's just
talked
a
every
thought.
day for the whole summer, and we saw each other sometimes. But it was typical teen where you see each other in like a group setting, and you kind of pretend that you don't really talk, even though you do every day.
That's so annoying.
But I was like 14, so I don't really know what was happening.
Yeah, that's normal. To
I was just like,
behavior.
whatever. Like, OMG, I saw him. I can't believe that we spoke 2 words. And then we text later. But that was like that was the first guy that I really like talked to consistently like that, like texted every day. And I like the first cut is the deepest, you know?
Yeah.
So we were talking, blah, blah, blah. Then summer comes to a close. And I specifically remember the moment that I knew it was over. And it's so weird, like you're saying.
I do too.
You just know in the air.
So weird.
Like it was, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember walking outside, looking out at the ocean, being like, he is over me right now. And I know it. And I think it was like, he didn't text me that day, which like is not that big of a deal, but I knew in that
The
moment,
first shift.
I knew he was never going to text me again.
You can feel the shift.
And he didn't. So that was so sad. Like when I think about like real breakups I've been through, equal pain as that ghosting breakup as a 14-year-old. Like it feels so painful when you're so young, and it's so weird.
For the
Didn't
future
you
as a
write a
mother.
song about him that was really sad?
Yes.
I feel like I remember you playing a song and me like crying because I was like, Lauren is so sad.
Yeah.
Like I remember that like really affected you deeply.
It did.
And you wrote those the lyrics that turned into the song we were working on that I ended up putting together. It's called Everything Reminds Me of
Oh.
You. You wrote some lyrics and I turned it into this other song that was really good, and it was from him.
Yes,
Everything
and
I
lyrics
got
that
to.
are in You Don't Miss Me at All are ones I wrote about him. My song 8 a.m. is about him. Really dramatic and sad. And that's really how I felt. And I literally,
I forgot to bring money.
yes, I cried.
Oh,
How come I can forget my wallet?
But I still can't forget you. Amazing line. Just saying.
So good. Artistry.
But I cried, like bawled my eyes
baby.
out every single day
Oh my
for
gosh.
like 6 months.
oh my god!
And I would listen
Of
to
course.
your demo of Easy to Forget Me
Amen.
and You Don't Miss Me at All
Amen.
and cry every single day. I remember we went to, yes, he didn't miss me at all. And we used to talk every day. Then he acts like he didn't even know me. It's really sad. I would listen to 19 You and Me by Dan and Shay, and I was like reminiscing on the summer. And then I would
Oh my
see him
gosh.
sometimes because like at the
So
swim
sad.
meets with the boys, because he was on the swim team with my brothers. And it was so sad every time I saw him, and we would just be like, oh hey, but it was like, I've never met you, basically. And again, crying. I did not move on from this until we moved across the country. You gotta move on, as Sam Hunt says.
my
You break up
God.
in a small town.
Oh.
And that was true. I literally couldn't move on. And I would think about, oh, maybe I'll see him at the grocery store. Maybe I'll see him here. Again, another thing about him, fallback second verse is about him.
Oh my gosh.
So much of seeing him at the football game. And
Wait,
like,
what was
oh my
that?
gosh.
Well,
It's Friday night at the homecoming game. I didn't even know you came to these. Sitting on these bleachers and I heard your name. Looked to my right and I couldn't believe you're in that brown tee, which I still remember that, and those jeans. My heart is pounding, trying to hide it with some other guy. But I miss you and I wish that we could fall back. Wish we had it all back. I was with some random guy that I didn't really like that much, which it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well,
I
that
just
that
realized-
makes sense. Oh, go ahead.
I just realized the first verse part of it is about my ghosting story.
Yeah. So
And I was just thinking it makes sense that that's about him because that was like, didn't we write that when we hadn't even moved to Nashville yet?
Yeah.
It was like
So we were
just
still
then.
living there. And it was right before we moved. So
Yeah, it's just crazy how something that really was not that serious, wasn't that deep. Like, we just talked about steak and eggs or whatever every day. We did not share like our personal lives.
I miss talking
We
about
never were
steak
like,
and eggs.
oh, I like you, or whatever. Like, it was very, very like surface level conversations, and not even really talking when we saw each other. But it took me 2 years to move on because I think because I never I didn't meet anyone else in those 2 years
Okay, I was
that I
gonna
actually
say.
liked. Like I hung out with some guys, but it wasn't really like a connection, even though me and him didn't really have that strong a connection either, but more so than anyone else. And it was just like, it really was like, what did I do? And like how do you go from liking me to then just not?
That is
Randomly.
the
So
worst.
rapidly.
And yeah, I did ask him about it like a few months later, and I was like, hey, like,
What
is there a
happened?
reason why like you stopped talking to me?
oh, it's so sad.
He was like, yeah, just been really busy with school. And I was like, this man literally hates me. Like, you're
been
too
busy.
busy with school. You were busy the whole time we talked. Very busy guy.
I don't know.
And now you're too busy
Maybe
with school
the
to
pressures
speak
of
to
school
me.
got to him.
I think he just was over it. I don't know.
Okay.
Trig.
That's okay.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
He didn't seem to have much of like an emotional capacity to be
Well,
close
he
to
was
people.
like 16. Like, he didn't really know what was happening.
Well, he was a very repressed 16, I would say.
Yeah.
This boy was a very repressed
we were both just like,
Yeah, if he had been extra like open, you probably would have been triggered.
yeah,
and
I'd
you
be
probably
like,
would
get
have
away
ghosted him.
from me.
Yeah, you were both
Yeah.
kind of like.
So
It's those ones that never quite open up that get you the deepest.
well, yeah, and I think that it is harder to move on from like a more like way less serious thing sometimes because you never got to see it through. You never really got to know them. You never really got to see how it would be in a relationship or anything. So you have this projection on, oh, it would have been great. It would have been this. It would have been that. So it's like almost trying to let go of like the future that you projected more than what even happened.
Yeah, you know what song is so good that I used to listen to about that, and I know you guys know it too, is What Hurts the Most by Rascal Flatts.
Oh,
And he's like, what hurts the most is like being so close and watching you walk away. And he's like, and never knowing what could have been.
That is
I think that's
depressing.
why those like not as deep ones are the hardest, because we kind of have this idea of like our dream for that relationship and what it could have been, and then you don't know if it'll ever happen or not, and it kind of kills you.
You know what I will say though is that many years later I sent him Fallback and I was like, oh, this second verse is about you, by the way.
gosh.
He was like, oh, like, I don't know what he said. I think he was like, oh, I didn't know that you felt that way. And then he's like, oh, when you're back in California, we should hang out.
Wow, you're
then
like
you did
too
it?
little, too late.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was
You
like,
really
I
come
didn't really
back, did
go
you?
back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have hung out with him, but
Yeah. Could have been interesting to see what he was like later.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, they always come back.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. Not in this house.
Yeah, some people they don't.
I like
yeah,
it.
they
People,
definitely
they're like,
don't.
see ya.
I like
never
the
look
concept
back.
They never come
Yeah,
back.
some are like, never look
They
back,
would
never turn
never.
around, never
I'm-
happened, never seen you, never
I'm the
known you.
crawling back one, but then not really.
Yeah, that's so weird. If to like be close to someone and then you literally just never speak again, and you don't have any kind of ending
Yeah, that
conversation.
is so
You
weird.
pretend that it never happened. It's such a weird concept if you think about it.
So
but
bizarre.
It really happened. Do you wanna? You wanna go? Or you want me to go?
You should go. I'm still trying to pick one of the many.
I'm thinking of my first. Is that what you were doing your first time ghosting? Being ghosted?
Mine was.
I actually don't know.
Or an earlier time.
Oh, I think this is
Yeah.
my first ghosting at the age of 17. I want to say, not 18. Yeah, I think I was 17. Yeah. I want to say 17. So I was okay. So I just came out of this. I was in the throes of depression. And I was in this. I was in my isolation era before this.
Not
Yeah.
the
I was
isolation.
living in my room with the blinds closed, and I was a teenager. I was just like, oh, everything sucks. And then I was like, we're getting out of this. So then one summer I was like, I'm getting out of here. And my mom gave me she gave me a bunch of clothes my dad got her for her birthday that I could go exchange for store credit.
Ooh.
Oh.
So I took that. She's like, here, go get some clothes. Oh,
want these.
I know. When does that happen to us? Never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never.
That's nice.
I think she felt bad for me.
Yeah.
She's like, you want to go up and go shopping? Which she would never say this. And she's like, okay, yeah. Take these.
Oh,
Like,
she
get
took
out
me
of your
shopping
room.
for my 15th birthday.
Oh,
That's
okay.
nice.
So that happened one time.
Our mom wasn't like the big shopping mom. She's more like, oh, you have a hobby, I'll buy you everything for that hobby
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
exists. So
Yeah.
she really showed support in that way. But she wasn't like, ooh, you want new clothes? She'd be like, no. So get your own new clothes. So yeah, she gave me that. So I went and I bought all these dresses and I started my dress era.
Oh, I remember this clearly.
I always
I clearly
this
remember
pink dress,
era.
this yellow dress, this blue,
I remember
this
the blue
white.
one, I think, the most.
But you had iconic dresses.
I had
I
all
gotta
these
say.
cute dresses.
We always wanted to steal Christina's dresses. And
Yeah.
What?
Well, not steal, but like we'd be like,
Like
hey, can I borrow
borrow.
your dress? Which you would usually let us borrow them.
Yeah, like
I'm
for
kinda good
church.
at
Me and
stuff.
Lisa, mainly.
Yeah, I had all these cute dresses. So I was like, I don't know. Somehow I knew just like it's time to put myself out there. I don't know.
You gotta.
So I started wearing my dresses all the time and just not wearing, I guess, like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt all the time. I don't know. Something changed. So then, and I remember like one of you was saying, it's like oh yeah, you were saying at church, there's like the moment of change. So my brother's friends were off limits.
I gotta say, you and Lisa were daring for going for Michael's friends. I would never do that.
My older
guys
brother,
were
yeah, your older brother's friends are
walking on the
basically
edge.
always off limits,
Well,
but
okay, but these ones for good reason.
okay.
Very good reason.
But anyway, older brother's friends are always off limits, but there's just something.
Doesn't that make
Yeah,
it even
you
more
can't help it.
appealing?
There's
Yes.
just, you can't do anything about it, okay? It's just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Is it?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this for my future with because I have Barrett and then Tristan, so I already
Good
know
luck,
what's gonna happen.
Tristan's gonna steal all your friends.
The older brother likes his younger sister's friends, and the younger sister likes her older brother's
I
friends.
hated when my friends liked my brother. I
me
was
too.
so annoyed. I was
Oh,
like,
so
ew,
annoying.
get away from him.
Yeah,
It was so
especially when they don't tell you.
But they
Why would they tell you?
Why
I
would
would
you
not tell you. You'd be like,
No, they
Because
never
some
tell
are
you.
like-
They just flirt shamelessly right in front of you, and you're like,
You need to tell them.
Okay, anyway. Yes, they should tell you, but they never.
I have never liked my friend's brother.
and all you want to say to them is,
that's good.
you think you like him? Wait until you come downstairs and he says, maybe next time try less perfume. Like, he's not this sweet little
Yeah,
guy
I'm
that
like,
you
really? Really? Okay.
Or like, are you hormonal?
Yeah,
Say
wait
that
for
to me, I'd be like,
one. Wait for that one.
So anyway, he had all these friends he had like really cute friends, I gotta say.
Yeah, and they would always come over. And it
Yeah,
was
and they
too
would
far.
always come
They were the
over.
bad boys.
Ugh.
Rip.
So I was like,
Yeah.
well, this guy wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh, he
definitely
was
not.
pretty nice.
He was not the bad boy. He was the one that my brother said was the one trustworthy friend.
I feel like
that's
he's
good.
giving like insurance agent, like dependable, you know, right?
No.
Have, like gauges.
I don't know.
No.
I feel like he was like this nice guy that was like selling something. Yes,
I thought he had weird
Wasn't he like
earrings.
a sweet, like dependable type guy?
Yeah, no, he was
That's what I'm saying.
giving.
He had like a real job.
He was
giving.
giving auto mechanic, which
Yes,
is what he
yes.
did,
Yeah.
which was great.
Okay.
I love a mechanic. Love
Love
it.
him.
Hello,
We love a man that can fix the
hello,
car.
love
Guys,
it.
there's nothing more attractive. Oof. I
That
would say.
that definitely doesn't tell you which friend it was, by the way, at
no,
all.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Of his,
How
because
many
like
friends
all of
did
them
he
were.
have? Oh,
Just saying. Okay,
They
so
all
anyway,
worked on their
yeah,
cars.
no wonder I had a problem. Okay, so,
Yeah,
okay.
they all worked on cars. What are you gonna do?
So I saw this guy around, and I was like, oh, cute, whatever. They were all cute. But then one day I was at Starbucks, and I remember I like straightened my hair. I already have straight hair, so I don't know what I was doing, but
because it was what you did in 2000 and
yeah, I straightened my
was
hair.
already
Okay.
straight.
that was what you did back then.
I
okay,
remember what
people?
I was wearing, which is so weird. It wasn't that
2007.
exciting. It was just like a white tee and denim. It was like Michael's white tee, probably. My brother's.
But
I
you
don't
were
know
probably glowing.
It was
with
like a
newfound
larger white tee.
confidence.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like feeling like I'm coming out of this
Coming out of your
Cave.
cave.
and
isolation
you're doing
era.
just
Yeah.
fine.
And then I saw him. He drove by. He literally just drove by, and we made eye contact at Starbucks. That's all. That's it.
Oh, not the
That's
eye
it.
contact.
We
That
made
was
eye
the
contact.
moment.
That was it. And I was like, Ding,
Like,
ding, ding.
game on.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. And then he messaged me on MySpace.
Oh.
Amen.
And I was like,
Oh.
oh yeah. Because I wasn't supposed to talk to my brother's friends. That was the problem.
That is a
Forbidden
problem.
love.
I broke that rule a time or two.
Oh.
But anyway, so then, yeah, we started talking, and he was so nice. He was so
Of course.
sweet. He was a
seemed
younger
really
brother of
nice.
sisters.
Classic.
Yeah.
If you
really
watched our
sweet.
birth order episode, that means something to
It means really sweet and caring, charming, but kind of like really babyish. So like didn't mind a more
a bossy woman.
a leader.
A leader.
An aggressive woman. I wasn't that aggressive, but kind of. So he
had a
was like,
spirit.
it was like one side of me. It was good for the one side of me. But the other side of me was like, man, you're too babyish. But anyway, so he was really sweet. He was so nice, blah, 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 whatever. And we just had it was just great. It was such a great experience, I would say. He was so sweet and really was a really respectful guy.
Did you tell Michael that you were talking to him or no?
Yeah, I did. And he was like, he's the one friend you can talk to. And I was
Wow.
like, wow, what do
Amen.
you know?
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I even told Michael. I never told him any of the other friends. But this one, he was nice.
Love it.
So then, one day, before bed, he texts me, good night, with no smiley face.
No!
And I was
I
like,
can feel
The
that.
kiss
I'm
of death.
and I was like,
feel
Why
shattered
even
for
say
you.
good night? You might as well say have a bad night.
I feel so
yeah,
Bad
bad.
night.
why did you say good night
That
with
is
that?
just
You
such
need to
a
say
loud
night because
message.
it's not going to be good.
Yeah. So I knew in that moment, I had no experience really at this point. Well, kind of, but not really. But I knew. I was like, oh,
You can tell when it's over.
Yeah, I was like, this ain't right. So then the next night, he didn't text me anything. Then I was like,
No.
So
then you're
sad.
like, this is done. Dunzo.
And how many times do you neurotically just click your phone? Maybe it's not working. Just open it a million times.
yep.
I hate it.
That ain't right.
So then, poof, disappeared. So then, I go to town center where I first saw him. That's where I would hang out all the time. We had one town center. We really had two places with grocery stores you can hang out at, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They all out of the gas station.
Yeah. So I went there, the usual, and then I saw him with this girl.
I think I was in the car with you when you, saw him.
This blonde girl who was nothing like me. She was like a wild. If you can believe it, not a wild child. Opposite of wild child as a teen. Very straight edge, whatever. Not wild at all. So I saw this wild blonde girl, and I was like,
Then I see your car driving by my street. Who's that girl in your passenger seat? Yeah.
yes, that was a mashup of him and this other guy. It happened with two guys where I saw them
That's
with
that
this
girl
girl.
should be
That's
me.
disturbing.
Yeah, so I was like, oh man, she's blonde and crazy in a different way than me. This is not me at all. Like, if this is what he likes, it's not me. Which ended up being accurate. So, yeah, then he starts posting with her. And I see
on his MySpace?
I see more about her. I'm like, yeah, this is not like me at all. And he ends up being with her for a long time after. I think probably a couple years. So she was more like his type, I think, than I was. I think I wasn't quite the right kind of crazy,
fit.
in that moment, when you're attracted to your what's I'm looking
Opposite?
for? No.
Dysfunctional.
Yeah, like the dysfunctional
match.
things when you haven't really gone your healing journey and it's just like the dysfunctions just come together. I wasn't quite the right dysfunction for his dysfunction. So I had very few coping skills at this point. I don't think I really talked to anyone about this.
Well, you were just in your isolation.
Yeah.
so-
I didn't really know anything about expression. I didn't know that much. I think I kind of journaled here and there about him, but I didn't really even feel comfortable opening up to my journal. But I would here and there, and then you just rip it up, throw it away.
Well, you also wrote so fast that whenever I would try to read your journal, which wasn't very often,
You can't tell what
I
it
literally
says.
could not read it because it was like
I
you
love
wrote
it.
it in such a rush. Just-
Yeah, I couldn't read it
love
either.
that.
yeah.
couldn't
I
read it.
really could not. Maybe one word per page.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
So it was written in code, honestly.
yeah, it was. So I didn't write any songs about him. I probably could have written so many songs about him in that moment. If I poured my heart out into songs, I probably would have written so many great cathartic great songs, but I wasn't at that point in my life, I couldn't even like write songs really about my feelings.
Yeah.
I couldn't put my feelings in a song. It was like so wild. I couldn't express anything. So yeah, I just suffered on for a while and was like, my life is over. This is horrible. But I didn't really know what to do, and I didn't even know how to express myself. So kind of like frozen. I was just like frozen.
I feel like at that point though, didn't you like listen to certain songs that remind you of
and
him?
I can't remember what they were.
Yeah, I was trying to remember because I feel like that's what you and Lisa and I all kind of did. We like listened to certain songs.
This isn't the song, but I remember. I think it was No Air. I think he was like, "Oh, this song reminds me of you."
Oh, dramatic.
He's a dramatic
Well,
boy.
that is a really dramatic. For some reason, I didn't take it dramatically. Like I knew he didn't mean he couldn't breathe.
You expect me?
I think it's because it was a cute song.
Okay.
Is it cute? It's not really cute in my
My
opinion.
world
now that I'm
revolves
thinking
around
about it, I'm
you.
like,
so hard for
It's
me.
so
to think.
hard for me to breathe. I think they're not even together in that
so that song would
Yeah.
come on the radio all the time. Ugh.
That
So
is
anyway,
right.
I love the vintage references in this. MySpace, the radio.
yeah, it is kind of fun.
That's a vintage references.
And then, okay, so then to end the story, after several months of me just being like, what the heck? Then I just texted him and I was like, hey, why did you stop talking to me? It's like, hey, can I ask you a question? And then I said, did I do something wrong? And he said, or was it something I did or something like that? Same thing that you said, basically.
Aww.
And then he said, no, you didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. Oh, I was like, wait. He said nothing. So what did I ask that you would respond with nothing?
What did I
do? He said, nothing. You were perfect. And then I was like,
How did I remember?
Yeah.
if I was
So why?
perfect, then why did you stop talking to me? But I think I understood what he was saying. I think
He's like, it wasn't about
It's
you.
like it's not you, it's me.
it was
it
that
was
this
the other
other girl
girl.
was more
my type.
Yeah.
So then for some reason, as soon as he said that, it cured me basically. I was
Well,
like,
because that's really nice to hear.
I was like, okay, I didn't do anything. That makes me feel better. Great. Even though I kept seeing him and I'd be like, So I saw him a few times like with that girl. And then one time I went to he worked at the grocery store at a later point. So I went to the grocery store. Was there just one grocery store in this town? So I went to that's our song felt like. I went to the grocery store and he was there and I was like, and then I don't really know if I talked to him. I can't remember. I said like one word like, hey, and then ran away. And then like 5 years later, he tried to add me on Facebook.
Whoa.
And then I declined him.
Gosh,
Good
not
for
right.
you.
Not because he was rude, just because it's not the time.
The Empire
Decline.
struck back.
I was in a
love it.
relationship, so I was like, decline. But
Love
anyway, I
that.
was like, wow, try to add me. Love it.
They always come back apparently. So I have not really been like ghosted fully by a man per se. I've had things like one guy ghosted me for 2 weeks and I was like, I texted him, he texted me back a week later after I texted him and was like, hey, we should talk. And then he broke up with me. So that wasn't really ghosting, but it was ghosting. He tried to ghost me, but he had too much integrity for that.
Yeah.
And then that was really, if it went on for much longer than 2 weeks, I would have lost my mind though. I would have died. But then we broke up and I lost my mind anyway. But yeah, that's how it goes. I've mainly been ghosted by like every single best friend I ever had in my life.
Which I was saying, I realized I've had that happen a couple times with friends too. So I was like, we should do
It's the worst.
friendship
some kind of an
ghosting.
episode on something about friendship because I feel like I haven't talked about any of that. I never think about younger friendships, but I feel like it's kind of interesting to talk about. But I haven't thought about that in a while.
I was in my 20s too. It would happen from childhood
there's not
up
an
to my
excuse
20s.
in your
There
20s
was 1 month,
for
May
doing that.
2018. My 3 best friends all ghosted me in that same month.
What the world?
All of
That
them.
is so
And it was
odd.
so bizarre. Cause like, okay. So this is a wild story. So I'll just go in on it. So basically,
You like people who hate conflict?
I like people who hate me. No, I'm kidding. They don't. They're
But do they
good
all
people.
hate conflict?
Yes, they're all extremely conflict averse.
Okay.
So basically, wow, this is so weird to think about. So I was, okay, so it was 2018. One of them, okay, 2 of them were girls, one of them was a guy. But he was like, we had a thing, and he was my like best friend for a while, but not really. But like, yeah, but like it was holding. And then 2 of them were my girl best friends at the time. So basically, somehow, I don't know where the astrologists are, but the planets and the stars all colluded to where they all lined up perfectly for them to ghost me in 1 month. So first that
And they didn't
happened-
know each other. They're
No.
all separate.
Yes,
Wow.
separately
That's so
for
weird.
all different reasons. That one I will have never solved. I've never solved. I don't know why she ghosted me. I literally have no clue. So basically, one friendship, or the first one was this girl and I. We had been having some problems because I'd be like, if she couldn't come hang out, she wouldn't say anything, and then just not show up, and then not talk to me for 2 or 3 days.
So wild.
And it was very intense.
So wild.
And like, she's a great person. Like, I love hanging out with her. She's like so much fun. But like, after going through that repeatedly, I was like, I just can't deal with this. I need you to be more communicative. And she's like, okay, let's go hang out this next day. And then she never said anything, and we didn't speak for like 5 years.
That's
That's literally what happened. Like, literally,
insane.
she didn't say anything. We didn't speak. It was done.
Wow.
And then we talked again like 4 years later. She sent me one text. I called her, didn't pick up, never texted me again. And then I texted her this year, and I was like, hey, I was like randomly thinking about you. And she's like, I was thinking about you too. So then we started chatting again. But like, it was very strange. And then
Wow.
another friend, the second one was this girl. I still to this day have no clue. I don't know. It was May, so it was her birthday. And I remember she was doing, like, it was her birthday, and I love birthdays. And like, I always was like for the time we were friends, probably 2 years, I was like, this is like her third birthday when we were friends. And I was like, oh yeah, like, I always was like, oh, I'll come over. Like, she always had like little birthday things at her house, and she never invited me, never said anything. I ended up dropping by anyway with flowers, just because I didn't realize we weren't friends. I like didn't realize. So then it was so awkward. I was like, oh, here, I brought you these for your birthday.
Did she have people
In the
over?
middle of a party?
I don't even remember. I think I kind of blocked it out. But like, I didn't realize we weren't friends. Like, she wasn't really answering, but I was like, I'll just drop by anyway. I'm sure it's fine. It was not fine.
That's so
It
weird.
was so weird.
Oh
I like forgot about all of this. And then years later, she came up to me in church, and we talked for like 30 minutes. And that's all the contact we've really had.
Interesting.
It was so weird. And I saw her every week at church with her parents, just like hanging out, like very strange. And then, third person in that month to ghost me. So bizarro. All of this in 1 month. Insanity. Was this guy. So we had talked the summer before, and like it's kind of sporadically talked, but it was just like a giant mess. Like it was, I was like,
who's this?
well, we don't need to get anyway, so then he called me, and I didn't answer. And then, because I was mad. Why was I mad? I don't know. I was unhinged. But I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know why. And then he called me again a week later. I didn't answer again. Why? I don't know.
What?
I was still mad. And then after that, he never answered me again.
So you reached out to him after that, but he just didn't
Yeah.
respond?
After you rejected him twice, then he's like, I'm done with this.
I was like, I'm done with this girl. And I will say, that was unhinged of me.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't know that it was like 2 strikes, you're out. But I was
Yeah,
like,
what?
why did I do that?
You
But I was
don't
also
know?
like, it's not right. I was mad. It
About
was a whole
something.
thing. Well, I don't even know. Like,
I'm sure there was some reason you were mad.
There were
I don't
reasons.
think you would just be
There
mad
must have been a
without
reason.
a reason.
there were reasons.
But you
and
were
it was
having a
just the
very
whole
traumatic
thing.
month, so your
So
mind
then
was probably
all
like,
of those things happened within probably a few weeks of each other.
Oh my.
And then I got so depressed I couldn't work. And then Christina was like,
Oh.
you need to do your work.
What year was this?
2018. And then
Oh
you were
my
like, you need to, I'm making you a list and I'm going to check it every day.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
you're not doing anything.
I
I was like,
remember
lady,
that.
I was like, I don't know why I'm not working. That's why. I was severely depressed.
Yeah, that's a lot in one.
And
Yeah, you
month.
weren't able to say like, I was ghosted 3 times this month.
by like my three,
Because
like
I didn't know that.
3 of my closest people. Because I didn't know I was so depressed.
Oh my
Because I had other
gosh.
friends, but like these are 3 of my like closest people or people that meant a lot to me. And then they were just gone, and I was like,
So then how'd you move on?
I don't.
Or how'd you feel
To
better?
this day, I don't know. I blocked it out, I think, because I'm
Oh.
trying to remember the aftermath. I can't quite remember emotionally. I think I just like focused on other friends and tried to meet other guys and such which, but like it was rough. But by that time, I'm not kidding you, that was probably like the 4th or 5th best friend to ghost me at that point. So by that time it gets like, you're like, okay, I'm used to this. I'm going to sink into a severe depression and not know it. But like, it's like, okay, another one bites the dust. I got to get new friends. But it was a wild, wild ride.
Wow.
I literally, I'm shook just thinking about it. I can't even like recall. It was that traumatic. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, my PSA.
Oh, that's why probably why I cut all my hair off in July.
Connecting all the dots.
I literally went like this to brush my teeth. And I was like, oh, my hair looks good short. 2 days later, it was gone. So,
Well, I would say my PSA to everyone is don't ghost people.
don't do it.
Unless I think sometimes maybe you need to ghost someone if they're bat rip crazy, maybe?
Yeah.
Would you say? Sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's an unhinged kind of almost like even could be even dangerous situation where you kind of do need to do that. But for the most part, if this is like I just talk, just
Tell
have one
them you're not
conversation.
friends anymore.
Just have one conversation. One
Or
thing.
text them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just have one conversation.
Text them and then block their number. I don't know. Just like
Yeah, do something. Say
do
something. That's my PSA. Say something.
Anything is better than nothing at all. Just anything.
Okay, and with that,
PSA. I'm like, I'm traveling. Thinking about
and with that, this discussion comes to a close. And we go. I was trying to quote, but it's not quite. And with that, the 20-something season. What's that? TikTok? What is it?
comes to an
2022
end.
season comes to
Okay,
an
whatever.
end.
Close it up.
2022 season comes to an end.
And with that, we go to our next thing, which is our povs. We each say our 5 povs. Well, when Lisa's here, 5 povs. We do our povs on a question, a topic, whatever. So for this, to go with the theme, the one this week is, have you ever ghosted someone?
/ would you if you haven't?
Yes.
I'm trying to really hard to
I
think.
feel so much guilt. I'm so sorry. I just can't say something sometimes. Not
Not as much
yeah.
anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel guilt. I'm sorry. I will say something someday.
I'm trying to think of what qualifies as ghosting.
Dropping off the map.
If someone texts you and you just don't respond ever again, that's ghosting.
Yes.
Even if you
Or
never
just
really
like
talked
a
in the
little
first
bit
place.
and then you're just like, okay, bye. But you never say why. If it's like, but it has to be like an obvious change. Like
someone you have some sort of relationship with.
I think I'm a chronic replier. I think it pains me to not reply to something, even if I don't want to talk to them. It pains me to not reply.
yeah.
But I feel like I must have done this at some point. I feel like maybe not. I think I might have always said something.
Yeah. You're not really
Yeah.
ghosting type.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I have, but maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I have. I feel like I gotta go into the archives and it's hard to remember. Anyone else?
Did you guys go? I was trying to remember if I did or not. I don't think I did. I think I'm honest to a fault with people. Like when
You
you
will
guys
tell
when you
'em.
guys say like, "Oh, someone's unhinged," don't tell them the truth.
You tell them the truth.
I probably told him the truth and it was not.
Yeah.
And then I regretted it. The only thing I can remember is there was a guy, but I'm pretty sure he ghosted me first, and then I deleted him on Facebook because I was like, I don't really want to like see this guy anymore. It's kind of like hurting me.
Yeah.
And then he texted me and he was like, "Did you delete me on Facebook?"
Did you reply?
And then I said, yeah, and I was very honest, and I said
not
why.
ghosting?
Yeah, but I mean, I think he kind of stopped talking to me, so I don't really
Yeah.
think I really ever
That's
ghosted.
not ghosting.
If I wanted to break things off, I would tell someone, write them a letter, do something to just be honest, because I'm like, I just hate the thought of someone who clearly was investing time and energy into me, not knowing why I'm not talking to them anymore.
I feel like if
sad.
there's going to be a ghoster and a ghostee, it's like two like psychological profiles, and I fit into the psychological profile of the ghostee.
Yeah, you're not really a ghoster.
I am not a ghoster unless you're talking to me on a dating app. I've ghosted every man.
That doesn't really. I feel like everyone.
Can't speak to you.
I feel like everyone does that.
On the
though.
dating app, Amy's the
I
ultimate
am the ghost.
It's kind of like
Hey,
She's
I
like,
get the income gone. Hey,
gone.
I don't even know. I'm
And then
barely
you
on
get
them.
the unmatched, the convos disappear, and you're like, wow, okay.
Oh yeah, that was always.
I never unmatch. I just never.
Oh, you should. I unmatched people and like, not happening.
Yeah,
no.
I'm just like bye. It's bad. So I can understand why.
That's
people
okay though.
ghost
You
in
don't
that
even
way.
know them. You probably talked like 3 events.
In that way, I can
Yeah,
understand
it's okay.
why people ghost because it's like so.
I feel like people don't
hard.
take it too seriously unless you've been like
No.
talking a lot for a
Yeah.
while, which you probably shouldn't do. You should try to
But
meet them
I
as
don't
soon
think
as you
I've
can.
ever had a relationship with a real person that I just was like, oh, never gonna speak to you again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always have to have a talk.
The only
Like,
time
oh.
I ghosted a friend, I don't even know if you would call this ghosting. I told her, I didn't ghost her. I told her, like, I don't think that we should be friends because I felt like I couldn't trust her. It was a
That's
good
not
reason.
ghosting.
And then she kept harassing me, I would say. She kept reaching out to me for years and I never responded to her.
That's not
So that's not
ghost.
ghosting,
That
right?
is not
No,
ghosting.
you told her.
I
Ended the
it
friendship and
pained,
she wouldn't end it.
even though she was so unhinged, it pained me to not reply every single time she
remember
reached
that.
out. It pained me. And I did not want to talk to her at all. But it pains me to not respond to something from someone.
Yeah.
I like have to respond to everything. Unless I guess unless I'm like, well, I don't know. Does that pain everyone or no?
Yes.
But
Well, if it's
sometimes
like a serious
if you're like
thing.
mad, maybe if you're like, well, screw this. Sometimes you don't
the
want to
guilt
respond.
is so high.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a responder.
Yeah, it pains me.
First responder. I'm just kidding.
Well, it depends. It's like if I think the person would care, then yeah. If I don't think they care, then
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
don't think they would care, sometimes then it's like, whatever. They don't even care. Yeah. That's true. I'll be like, they don't care. Whatever. Okay. So that's that. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually really interesting. Us like opening up about these like younger stories.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's taking me back.
Yeah. It's like
It
we
was
should write some
taking-
songs about this.
It took me back a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure I enjoyed the trip.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about my teen years because I was such a repressed, like wildly repressed, like shockingly repressed person that it's definitely not my fave to think about.
Yeah.
But you live,
Same.
you learn. But some of it was fun, so I guess sometimes.
I just the depths of the unhingedness like the depth of how unhinged I was.
Okay, but Amy, you were
Shakes
saying
me
like,
to the core.
oh, our Facebook post episode, you gotta watch it if you have it.
Not necessarily in actions, but in
But you were like, I don't want to read these. They're so
they're
crazy,
so embarrassing.
and they weren't at all.
Tell me they were.
They weren't.
They were not embarrassing,
Amy. It was just
Amy.
like watching a movie. Yay!
I'm just thinking about all of my. I don't know. I just was
I feel
very
like you're too
unhinged.
yeah.
Hard on myself.
You're too hard on
yes.
your old, not as unhinged as you're saying self.
Yeah.
I think more my thinking process was very unhinged. Not
So you don't-
necessarily my actions as much, but my thinking.
You're like,
Amy,
I shudder to think of
you
what I
were
used to
young.
think.
yeah, I mean, what else was I gonna do?
You were
What else?
young.
What
Miley
else was I
Cyrus
gonna
song.
do? Oh, I
You
love
were
that
young.
song.
I can't remember how it goes.
What are you
Younger
singing?
now.
Does it go like that?
We were
No.
young.
Doesn't it go
What is
like
that?
I used to be young? Does it
Oh,
go like that?
her new song. I don't know actually.
I don't know what that is.
Miley Cyrus's
guys,
new song.
her
It's like,
documentary is
used
called
to
Used to Be Young.
She's like, I used to be like crazy.
Oh,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
I
Did
don't
she say
remember.
crazy?
That's because I used to be
It's
young.
like I used to be young.
I used to
Yes.
be fun and crazy.
Is that not the epitome of like Hollywood when a 30-year-old woman is saying I used to be young?
Yeah.
She's
That is
so
weird.
young.
Yeah. What the heck?
All right, our last. Guys, this episode's gone so long. I'm like forgot what's
I'm like-
happening.
All right, we're doing a lightning.
Our last thing is thank goodness. Sister Spotlight, thank goodness, is the person it is today, which is Florida
Lauren.
Lauren.
All right, lightning round. All right.
Let's go.
This is Lauren's
take lightning round
from our
patrons.
We love you.
We love you guys. This is from Betsy. Do you still skateboard? If not, do you hope to get back into it?
I feel like someone just asked this.
Sometimes. Only really in like the spring and summer.
Yeah.
But I didn't this summer. Not once.
You could skateboard in the fall.
It's too cold.
It's not that cold yet.
Okay. Well, that's the answer.
This one is kind of not the right question, but I feel like you can answer it since this is the first time your hair has been different. Do you think your hair routine has changed since dyeing it blue? So I guess you could talk about why you
because I feel like I'm like that SpongeBob meme where it's like, my bones are made of glass, my skin is paper, or whatever.
Wait, what?
Every day I break my... Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Did you watch SpongeBob?
Yes.
Because I saw this thing that said there's two types of people who watch it and people who didn't watch it, but I was a little too old for it.
Well, I did, but I don't think it really shaped me.
They said it
really
shapes your humor and all this stuff.
Does
That's
it
what I saw on
really?
TikTok.
I didn't think it was that funny.
It had some good
I
moments.
don't really think so.
Anyway, I felt like that SpongeBob meme, like my bones are made of glass and my skin was made of paper. Like, I couldn't like do anything because my hair, I can't just go wash it haphazardly because then I have to re-dye it, and then I can't wash it that much because then the color will fade so quick. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
so just really annoying, and like I definitely cannot like wash it at night because then it will stain my pillow. Blah 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 blah.
That
All
was
this
like
stuff.
yeah.
Oh, it's raining. Oh gosh, it's gonna bleed onto my clothes. So I feel very great. Now that I don't have to think about that.
That was me when I dyed my hair dark after it being red.
It's just so freeing.
It is
easy
freeing.
breezy, beautiful cover
Love it.
girl.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle said favorite type of pasta.
Amen.
Like with pesto.
Pesto pasta?
No, I think they mean
No,
like
what
the
type of pasta? What kind of-
actual pasta.
They all taste very different, okay, people?
Right? They do.
They do.
I agree. I hate penne.
I
a
like
great-
fettuccine.
Oh,
That's
yes.
fun.
I love fettuccine.
Kind of hard to eat.
Do you
though.
have it with
And I like
fettuccine
bow
Alfredo?
tie.
Ooh,
And
I don't like bow
I don't like
rotini.
bow tie.
Oh.
I don't like rotini either.
Or like, I don't know, any of the squiggly ones. The
Rigatoni.
one that's like macaroni-ish noodles, but not where it's like,
The
I don't know
elbow
what it's
one?
called.
Oh,
Where it's like-
Kappa.
I don't know
Oh,
what it's called. But it's like, it's like a mix of rotini and like a macaroni noodle.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
that's one of the only ones I like.
I like those.
Huh. I don't know what that is.
I don't know
They
what it
all
is.
taste very different.
Okay, Tina, guys, lightning round.
Yes,
Tina
they do.
said, "What?
They do.
What are some of your favorite books or book series?"
I don't really read that much. Let's be real. I don't really have like a book series. I mean, when I was very young, I liked the series of Unfortunate
Yes.
Events. Lemony Snicket. Is that his name?
That was fun.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't read like book series.
I feel like people think that all introverts are like bookworms. Do you feel that?
Everyone
some might.
types
I
you
don't
as a
know.
bookworm.
Well, she just said.
I don't think people think you must be a bookworm about me.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, last one from Eve. What is your favorite clothing item right now?
I don't have one.
This hat.
Yeah, this hat. I don't have
Amen.
one, guys. I don't have one favorite.
Really?
I have so
You don't
many
have like a signature
pieces.
piece that you're like so excited about
No,
for fall?
I like to switch it up.
Okay.
It's
I
not
don't know.
one
Maybe sometimes like you
piece.
got something new or
No, that's true,
or
but
a new
like
pair of shoes.
I
or
don't
something.
just have one thing though. It's like
Your green Converse.
multiples.
I feel like you wear those a lot.
I like those. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Lightning round. Hope you enjoyed.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us on
Yeah.
our trip down memory lane.
In these really cool costumes talking about being like psychologically issues.
Join our Patreon. Thank you so much to our patrons for supporting us. You guys are the best. Check it. It's in the description. I was going to say patreon.com/Cimorelli. Not the opposite. What I was going to say. All right. That's it. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.